he said, "That's what my coach instructs me to do, sir." That's what he said. And the umpire said he was standing right on top of home, and I didn't see. I asked him, "Were you close?" And he said he was on the dirt and the grass. I don't know. I didn't see it. You know, I don't know.
All right. Let's get into this ball game. Wade and I are going nuts up here. My comment when the game started, pitchers needed to throw strikes to get ahead of the count because both staffs are a little short.
Yes.
So you want to get your ace out there and get him limited. And you and I talked about this before the game.
Yeah.
Limited pitches. Then all of a sudden, Moss comes out, has a tough first inning, and then he settled down and really looked sharp thereafter.
Well, he struggled getting ahead of hitters, and that's something that we talked about. And, you know, later in the game, as the game went on, you know, he could start mixing it up a little bit earlier in the count because he can get ahead. You get that first strike across, you got a couple that you can play with, and that's what we were trying to get him to do earlier, and he just wasn't hitting the spots. But you know, once again, you know, he's done that earlier in the season, but he battled back, you know, and he battled the whole game, and that's what he does. You know, he's going to fight, and we have no doubt that he's going to do that. We just need him to get ahead of hitters a little bit quicker.
Coach, let's talk about those seniors out there. You've got your shortstop. Everybody talks about key positions. Your shortstop, your first baseman, your catcher. 3 tough seniors out there. Led you in hitting today, led you defensively today. How important is for a coach like you to have leadership on the mound and out on the field out in this type of game where you can not sit back, but knowing they are not going to get rattled?
Well, you know, I'll tell you the great thing about having Bryce is he has been around the game a long time catching. And he knows what to call, when to call it, and he knows where everybody's supposed to be, and it makes my job pretty easy because he can set the defense and he knows what's going on. And then when you got the corners and shortstop are all seniors too, it makes it pretty easy because they've been around the game a long time too, and they don't get rattled. You know, I think that a lot of that is, you know, they were here when they went to state, and so they've seen what big games are like, and they've been around it. Not necessarily that they were all, you know, key players or starters, but they've been around it and they know how to respond under pressure, and that helps tremendously because you've been there before, you know. And when we got down against Peru in the 7th inning, we battled back. We got down tonight, we battled back, and so, you know, there wasn't any panic. It was calm, you know, in the dugout, and I think that a lot of that goes to as much ball as they've played and you know, being in that situation.
Yeah, that's a great comment because I'm looking back on the Smalley play where you got a young guy out there getting now, you know, and I know gets a little nervous, gunshot when the ball goes up in the air. But then you look at Rozier in the same scenario later on. He went back. He was back on the tie of the game. He goes back to third and to come home. But he went back when the ball's hit. I'm not, you know, we're all taught anything in the air you got to come back right, and anything on the ground to go. I think the leadership right there, as you say, the experience right there just stood out.
Well, you know, we had a couple base running mistakes. You know, I ran us out of one with Drake, and then Bryce ran himself out of one. And, you know, we have told him before, you know, we like to be aggressive, but we got to be smart about it. And, you know, when we, you know, get a big hit and then Bryce gets a good hit and we got first and third and, you know, we got something rolling, we don't want to run ourselves out of an inning. And he just got a little bit anxious and went on his own. And, you know, it was a close play, but that's a risk that we don't need to take. But we battled back. You know, we overcame some mistakes. We didn't lose our composure, and we ended up coming out with a win.
You know, Wade mentioned this numerous times tonight, the fact that your kids were attacking the ball. And I thought the hands stayed back exceptionally well because Burnsworth ain't going to throw it by you on natural speed. He's going to set up his fastball off his breaking pitches, but you only had 2 Ks on a day. You really put the bat on the ball well.
Well, that's something we've been working on as our approach. And we're starting to do a better job of taking a good approach at the plate and making pitchers throw more pitches, and that's what we want to do. You know, obviously you're not going to get everybody's ace every time, but if we can get to their bullpen, our chances are going to raise pretty heavily. And you know, we're starting to get it figured out, and it's fun to watch when we do that because it's stuff that we practice, and you see them actually put it into a game, and you know, that's what makes it fun.
Okay, my last question. You got a question for Coach Wade?
I'm the photographer.
Oh, he's been chomping. He actually did a pretty good job up there. I hate to say it, and I'm not saying, you know, quick. What he said again happened. He said, not enough runs, 2 runs in enough, 1 run in. Yeah, this is the way it is. Coach, we talked about before the game execution. In your mind, in this game, watching these kids come from a deficit, come back for a victory, how was execution in your mind with your kids today?
Well, we executed when it mattered. I guess is probably the easiest way to put it. You know, early again with base running mistake and not tagging up. We didn't execute there when we did, but we did execute when it mattered, and that's what got us the game. And we got guys on base, and we took good approaches that last inning. And I thought we did pretty much the whole game, but we executed when it mattered, and that's obviously you want to do that the whole game, but we'll take it how we can get it.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time. You get right back out tomorrow. You go to Caston, I believe, tomorrow. Bus pick me up at what time we leave? No, that's it.
3:30. Be here at 3:30.
But we will see you Saturday at Parkview Field as you will go up there and play 11 o'clock in the morning. You'll be playing Columbia City at Parkview Field, and 105.9 The Bash will be there pregame right about 10:40, 10:45 to cover the Northfield Norse and the Columbia City Eagles at Parkview Field Saturday morning.
Yep.
Coach Brandon Baker, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for
Have a
coming.
good one. Thank you so much. Brandon Baker, big win.